This train goes straight through doomsday, one side is paradise and the other is hell. What happens when the arm is frozen to -100 degrees? The arm turned into ice and easily been broken to pieces when it got hit by a hammer. Humanity has faced a tragic scientific accident that caused the Earth to return to the Ice Age. There were only thousands of lucky survivors. They live on this train. After 17 years, a system of caste discrimination was formed here. The rich live in luxury at the front of the train, and the poor live in the back compartment. They cannot eat any meat. When they protested, they were dragged out and beaten up by the soldiers. The soldiers tortured the leader in public. They put his hand out of the train, waited for his hand to freeze, then they smashed it with their hammers. The leader of the rebels was Curtis. He secretly collected the empty barrel and observed the closing time. He was prepared for war. Now soldiers are going to check them out. Curtis suddenly stole the gun, aimed it at himself in the head, and pulled the trigger. He guessed it right. Years ago, because of fighting against the rebels, their ammunition ran out. The rebels used empty iron barrels to block the entrance. They quickly found the first victory. Then Curtis went to the train's prison cell. This place holds important prisoners. They save a person, Nam Gung. Only he can open all the doors of the cabin. Nam Gung took out a cigarette and smoked in front of everyone. Curtis and Nam Gung have successfully negotiated. They even brought Nam Gung's daughter, Yona. Yona is not a normal person. She can feel if the next cabins have someone or not. With just a few simple steps, Nam Gung opened the door. When everyone entered the cabin, they could see the scenery outside the window. It was covered with ice and snow, and the wind was very cold. They started the attack. Yona felt that there was only one person in the next cabin. After the door opened, it was true that there was only one person there. This place is the Black Ice Cream Factory. Curtis is curious about what people used to make it. He climbed on the machine to watch. Who would expect that the food poor people fight for was made out of cockroaches? They have been eating these for 17 years. He told his teammates the truth. They can't take it anymore, but they still have to move. At that moment, Yona sensed danger. She shouted, "Don't open the door," but it's too late. The door opened. Inside there were many muscular men. Everyone covered their faces, and held axes in their hands. They intended to suppress the rebels. They put on sight glasses in the dark. The lights immediately turned off. The train was going through a dark tunnel. Everywhere were the screams of the rebels. In desperation, Curtis remembered Nam Gung's matchbox. Then he shouted, "We need fire." A boy who was holding a torch quickly rushed over and passed the torch to everyone. The rebels' outrage reached its peak. The situation is reversed. On the cabin, there were many injured people. During the chaos, Curtis caught a woman with glasses. The train finally came out of the tunnel. In this battle, they lost half of their comrades. Curtis pities those who have died. Guy pushed in a cart. He gave each of them an egg. While everyone was wondering if the eggs could be eaten, the bald guy took out a gun from the egg cart and shot them. Then the teacher also attacked frantically with another gun. One of them threw a knife at the teacher. They watched TV and found that all of their comrades had been terminated. They captured their garrison and then shot him to death. They are not wavering. They continued to move forward. When they arrived at the rich's area, they were shocked. They were on the same train, but the rich even have beauty salons, pubs, and bars. Everyone wears beautiful makeup and doesn't care about the existence of mankind. All day they just enjoy their depraved life. The rebels were not interested in these people. Their target is the leader of the train. He has to pay the price for killing so many innocent people. Then they reached the last cabin. They found that the door could not be opened. Their people died a lot in this battle. Curtis lit one last match. He recounted the incident 17 years ago. At that time he once wanted to eat human flesh to survive. Fortunately, at that time an old man sacrificed his arm to give it to everyone. He was very ashamed. At this moment, the door opened. Lord appeared and shot Nam Gung. He told Curtis that Wilford, the leader, wanted Curtis to go in. Curtis agrees. He saw a very stylish old man. He told Curtis the truth. Because to prevent people from eating people, he devised a way to control the population. He will first transmit the news to the poor. The receiver is one of their friend who died. They had a predetermined number of people who would die as well as where they would fail. The supplies on board are limited. If there is no limit to the population, one day there will be nothing to eat. Now Curtis realized that all of the difficulties of the past few years were caused by this old man. The old man's coldness made him terrified. Human life for him is just a game. Now he saw that his way of doing was also reasonable to ensure that the rest of the people did not perish. The old man also wants Curtis to take over his position. Yona ran to Curtis begging. He wavered. At that moment, Yona felt that someone was on the ground. Two people tried to open the floor. They saw a boy working as a slave. Curtis awakened. He fights for equality. He turned and knocked the old man down and saved the boy. Curtis and Namgung embraced the two children, using their bodies to prevent them from getting hurt.
Nice.
At the end of the story, only 2 children survived. They even saw a polar bear, showing that the world will return to its original state. There was life outside of the train. If the people on the train were not caste, everyone was equal, everyone would surely be able to coexist with nature. Do not be foolish to destroy nature. If not, humanity will have trouble one day. Glad to accompany you through this movie. See you next time.